Okay, so we're now starting episode 5, and just so you are aware, this was Ova You, um, the song that I just got done and put up. Um, I didn't know that it was gonna get to be something that I liked so well, but it did end up something that I really liked, so I ended up using it. It was meant to just be for the tutorial or whatever, but um, so without further ado, let's get into it.
Alrighty, so I'm back. I had to go and meet my girlfriend because she forgot some stuff here at my house. So what do we got again so far? Where was I at? Here, let me look. Let me look at this last clip real quick and look at the very end of it and see where I was. File isn't playable. What? What the shit? Okay. Come with reverb on them, because that kind of eliminates your control, you know. I'd rather have it dry and be able to work on it. Mister. Okay. All right. Yeah. So what was I doing? I was looking for some drums. Clap. Let's go with a snare instead for now. All right. We're gonna skip all the jazz snares. Stuff sounds like crap. For this, anyway. It's not what we want. Pop. Can't even hear those over the feedback from my computer. I got the mic turned way up. So I actually I don't know, I kind of like that one. We'll replace it if I find a better one. Oh shit, I like that one too. Who would use that? Hey, all right, I'm gonna throw that in. I don't know if I'll have any use for it or not, but I like it. Okay. Oh, you can hear me chiefing on that thing. Okay, so where are we at? What do we got here? Alright, so what you could do is you could chop these, bring them down here, or copy and paste them essentially, and then like the fastest way to get like a vibe for how your sub's gonna sound with, oh shit, is just get the root notes in there real quick and just delete this other shit. Drop down like 2 octaves. Yeah, like that. And then what's the volume looking like here? Alright, so we'll go like Alright, so I put it like that so I can get a vibe for what it's like. I want to be able to tell a distinct difference between when the sub's going and when it's not. Alright, so here's what you want. If you decide to just go with the root notes, whatever. But what you want to do, and this is like something that I've been guilty of, especially lately, is a sub, you don't want to treat it like a pad, right? Like, it doesn't need to be going 100% of the time, because that's going to take away all your dynamic. So you're going to steal this down to just like put some, so you use a sub. A sub is what gives your song that bounce, you know, that dynamic, to where, because it's like anything else, it's about the contrast, it's about what's around it, the context or whatever. So if you just leave your sub going 100% of the time, then you got nowhere to go. You know, the best thing you can do at that point is just have an area where you bounce your sub and then skyrocket it. And that's just gonna make the rest of your mix sound like shit. You gotta have some bounce. So we're definitely not going to leave that the way it is, because that sounds boring AF. But what do we got here? Where are you at? There it is. Okay, so that, we're probably not going to use that. It's a little too much. I like it. It's kind of disco-y or something, like 80s vibe-ish. But, I think it's going to be too much. Alright, so I kind of like that sort of vibe. I don't know about that snare, but... Alright, so let's kick up our velocity so we can get some kind of consistency in the pressure. Alright, so timing. So I think that's kind of the vibe we're gonna go for, but I can't quite get it to fit for me. But I think I can if I just draw it in. So I'm gonna actually draw in the drums, because I don't have like drums to play on, and playing them on a keyboard is kind of dumb. It doesn't pan out very good. So what do we want here? We want our, you know what? I kind of like that other one better. That's a little more, that's more palatable to me. I picked all really big verby, except this one's real short and trappy. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's a good medium. I don't know. Actually, here, let's. I know you can't really see what I'm doing, but I'm just drawing them in for real. It's not rocket science. I mean, I can drag it over if you wanna watch that, but it's like the same, I think, kind of in every DAW. I mean, yeah, it's pretty much just making a rhythm. So yeah, there's a loop. Whoops. So you should just be able to slam that in across the board. right, so here's what we're gonna do. I like to, like I said before, I like to mix as I go. So obviously we can't be having that clipping at 724. Alright, so if you're using this particular, that's the one I'm using, yeah. Okay, you've got to come in here and you've got to set the track, or not track, but the channel that you want on your mixer, so that way you can individually deal with the volumes, because I don't want, you know. Alright, so I like that so far. I mean, like, there's a long way to go, but you know, it's a slow build, right? And then as you go, you're gonna be like, man, that's a little bit boring, it's a little bit flat, it needs a little bit of dynamic, it needs a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Or maybe you'll even get to the point where you're like trying to sing it and you just can't get it to work because it just doesn't feel right, and then you end up starting all over, pretty much, like mixing wise, or you end up changing a whole bunch of shit, and then you may end up in a completely different key, and the whole thing is just something that you weren't even quite setting out to do. But for me, that's part of it. I didn't mean to turn that off, my bad. But it's almost as much discovery as it is, you know, having a perfect vision in mind, to a degree. Sorry about that. I don't even know who that would be. What time? It's literally 12. It's 1 in the morning. Oh. So I got an email from this radio station that wanted to share my stuff, and my girlfriend, I at first was excited, and I sent it to her. I was like, hey, look at this. But let me turn this down a little bit so it's not so intrusive. But I sent it to her, and she was like telling me that, you know, blah blah blah, told you so, yada yada, because I'm kind of negative about stuff. But I don't think I'm gonna do it. I'm pretty sure it's a scam. Which is whatever, I guess. But okay, so what we need to do here, actually, let me make this big because we want to pay attention to this. So when you drop in your drums, you're gonna want to try to figure out your volumes and shit. Obviously, like, that's just kind of a repeating thing or whatever. Like, you're not gonna leave it like that. So here's how I do my drums, and this isn't how I was shown or told that is the best way to do it or whatever, but it's how I do it nonetheless. So let's see if I can kind of split this to where it makes sense. All right, so right now I don't need that on. I would have put the snare, I would have gave it some verb, but it's already got some built in, so I'm gonna leave it. Okay, so see where we've got all this clipping going on, and honestly, I'm probably not getting a perfect read because of it's really hard to mix on headphones. If you don't have some monitors, like that, having a good set of monitors, if you don't already have, you know, your set up or whatever, that's a really good place to start. Because, I mean, I guess there might be headphones out there that are really good to mix on. I don't know. But the ones that I have, and these were like $200 or $300 or some shit, because I took my retirement out to spend money on music shit. But I don't think that I don't think that I don't think that it's good enough, right? To try to mix on, like, you can go off your visuals and your, you know, your meters and stuff, but I don't know. That's a lot of faith to put into something, and I'm more of a control the outcome type of person. So I don't know. I guess if you're just kind of one of those Hail Mary people, I guess that might be a way to do things, but not for me. So I'm gonna give it a quick listen on my monitors. Sorry, I cut you off a little short there. Sorry about that. I forgot to turn my monitors off. Anyway, so I actually kind of like that. I might boost these up a little bit, but see, we're getting a lot of clipping over here, and you know, some people say that that's not a big deal or whatever. Some people put a limiter right on the master, which I don't really like to do. And I don't know why, but for some reason, really the only thing I like to have over in my master track is specifically like metering stuff, like monitoring things. So like the spectrum meter, if you've got like an imager or a console, anything that's just like more or less just for seeing, for visual, to know where all your levels are and stuff. Like if you're really trying to fine tune, that's really the only thing I try to put on my master. And I don't know why I came to that conclusion, but that's what I do. Because at some point I must have thought that was the way to do it. I don't know. But some people I have seen will put like a limiter right on this, which I know we haven't covered limiters, but we're about to. We're about to in episode 6, because you know that if I start to try to explain what a limiter does, this video is going to be like an hour long. So, it's not really going to take me an hour to explain that, but it's just the way that I do things. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll probably leave a link somewhere in here for the song that resulted from this, and then also I'll try to leave a link for like the rest of the playlist. So if you happen to stumble upon, what is this, episode 5, then you can still get to the rest of it easily if you would like, and things like that. So I think that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe. I said it.